So today we are going to start our very first day, that is mastering your DevOps skills day 1. So what we expect today. So let me share my screen. Okay, perfect. So now you can see uh, today what we are going to do. So first we will see the DevOps market. Okay, then we will see the syllabus, what we are going to cover in the entire course. And then we will start with the Linux. Okay, so first of all, so now here we want to see the DevOps market. So how we can check, like, should I start my career with DevOps, or I should go with other tool set, or the decision which I have taken is right or wrong. So we don't need to be confused, because we are investing joining daily session, then we are learning, and at the same time we have to practice it at the home as well. Then, so rather than being confused and doing just because the people are doing, let's try to figure it out if my decision of starting as a DevOps is right or wrong. So it's very easy. Okay. You can also verify it by your own methods. So I will show you the simple way how you can do. So you can see my screen. It's simple application, which is a web application, Google, which we are familiar. Let's see. So it's a Google. So what we have to do, DevOps jobs projection in next 5 years, just for the example. So now you can see the it says its adoption soared from 33% of companies in 2017 to an esteemed 80% in 2024. So now you can see this is the first result which is given. So you can see in 17 there were 33% companies which were adopted DevOps, and in 2024 last year it is 80% companies has been adopted. So it means it has really very good future. The first thing. Then there you can read the several articles. There are several blogs. You can go through it and understand. Now let's see the current job openings. DevOps jobs for the freshers. Let's see the freshers one, because experienced one everyone has the job. So you can see this is a Naukri.com. The Naukri is a platform which everyone has access. So you can check yourself. So you can see there are 5,894 DevOps job vacancies in only in Pune. So if I am going to Naukri.com, okay. So here, if anyone is for the first time Naukri.com, let me know in the chat box. If you are, if is there anyone who don't know Naukri.com, what it is? If you are a fresher, there is a chance you may don't know, but if you are experienced, then you everyone must be knowing what is Naukri.com. Okay, so let me understand my crowd first. I want, if you are fresher, type F in the chat box. If you are experienced, type E in the chat box. So I don't want any session should be a passive one way. I want you should involve so that you will have the focus in the session as well as you will enjoy the session. And though these are the free sessions, I want you should get values out of 3 days. Even you enroll or not, you should get some values. Please mute. Uh, please mute yourself. Thanks. Okay. So uh, let's get back. So make sure your mic is mute when you are not speaking. Okay, I can see people are saying EE experienced. Okay, I want input from everyone. Please type in the chat box. if you are experienced or freshers. So it will help me to modify the my conversation. So if there are more experienced, then I will skip the basic things which everyone knows. If there are more freshers, so I will try to involve those in the sessions. Okay. Okay, so I can see the maximum people are experienced. So those are experienced, those are very well known about the Naukri.com, LinkedIn.com. So these are the platforms which help us to get the jobs. So here you can see here DevOps jobs, multiple DevOps jobs are available here. Here you can see it's Pune. So if you go for Pune, then you can select the based on salary, how much salary, up to 0 to 3 lakhs. There are 2 lakhs, there are 1752 jobs. In the bracket of 6 to 10 lakhs, there are 3,236 jobs, and 10 to 15 lakhs, there are 2,610 jobs. So now you can see as you are moving ahead in the bracket, you are raising, so number of opportunities are getting increased. So you can see 3 to 6 lakhs 1752, 6 to 10 lakhs 3 to 1,000. Then if you go beyond 50 to 75 lakhs, there are still 128 jobs. For 75 to 100 lakhs, there are 22 jobs. And in the bracket of 1 to 5 CR, there are still 9 jobs. So now you can see this is your ladder. If you are experienced one, you know in which bracket you are, and this is your next step. So if you are a freshers, then you may fit yourself between first to 0 to means 3 lakhs to 3 to 6 lakhs. Up to 6 lakhs you can expect. If you are passed out from very good college, you have very good percentage, then you can get 10 to 15 lakhs as well. So this is a Naukri study. Then you can see for an MNC corporate, this you can go with that. Again, now here very question. No matter from which city you are, if you are from Pune, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, or any city, you can see Hyderabad, Chennai. So every city has some number of openings. Okay, so it means this is allowing you to get placed in your local area. Next thing, some people will say, sir, why should I try India? I want to go abroad, but I want to get the remote as well. So then these opportunities are also available. Remote jobs are also available. So what to do? Just come here, DevOps, and search remote rather than Pune, type remote and click search. So you can see it has changed the result. Here we have openings, remote job availability as well. AWS DevOps engineer remote, DevOps engineer remote. So you can try the remote job as well. Okay. Then next thing, sir, I don't want to get salaried. I am a free mind. I don't want to have restrictions of a time and slot. I don't want any boss. Then what you can do? Then there are freelancing opportunities as well. So you can work as a freelancer and you can get the good amount of packages, and there you will end up getting more than your salary as well. So this is a short, very short. So I just show you how you can do same thing. You can apply on a LinkedIn as well. So here I can see the maximum people are experienced. So I'm not going to show that, but this is the study how you can do. So before entering into the DevOps, so why we need to do that? So now here what I am doing, I am giving you the live data, live examples. I am showing you how you can study. Not for DevOps, you can apply this concept to all jobs. So even if you are any job, you are a manual tester, you are support engineer, then you have to check the next ladder where I have to be in next 2 years, next 1 year. So this is the way you can cross check and then you can take a decision. So why I came into DevOps, same thing I did. So I was working as a cloud engineer, and then I found there are very less opportunities and I was got stuck. Like my CTC was already overpriced, so no other company was giving me a job as a cloud engineer. So then I thought, let's move to the DevOps, and that's how I started my career into the DevOps. So now in DevOps, there are multiple ways of practices, multiple tools. Every company has a different set of tools, different work assigned to the DevOps engineer. So now here uh, you will get the multiple flexibility of working on tools, working on remote locations or MNCs, startups, everywhere you will get the opportunity to work on. Okay, so now this is our agenda, DevOps market. Now let's see the syllabus. What syllabus we are going to cover. So here, if you are a freshers or you have already studied, then you will see the part which we are going to cover maximum. If you are experienced, then also you will see whatever you expect, almost everything we are covered. So this is our syllabus. So what we will do, we will start from the Linux basics. And here you can see we will see the basic Linux, then we will go to advanced Linux, and we will end up with the shell scripting. So we will do some basic shell scripting which are required for the DevOps engineer. Okay, so then there will be a question, sir, why I want to need learn? Do I really need to learn Linux? The answer is yes. Why? Because majority of the companies have their servers in Linux environment, as well as there are tools which we are going to use that support Linux. The first thing, why? It is a security, then it is a open source. So for example, if you have to use a Windows operating system in your laptop, those people have purchased a laptop, you have to pay separate cost for the laptop as a hardware, and you have to pay additional cost to buy the Windows license. Again, you are using Windows Office. Now we use Office 365, so we have to add again cost for that. But when it comes to the Linux, you don't need to pay any extra cost for the operating system, so it comes as a free. So this is the main reason any company can afford it. The first thing is you don't need to pay extra cost for the operating system. Second thing, it's a more secure and reliable than the Windows or any other operating system. Okay, then we will touch Git, then we will learn advanced Git commands. Then GitHub, we will have a GitHub. So if you know already about it, then very good. If you don't know anything, any tool, so no need to worry. We have designed this course that way you will have the minimum required knowledge to start your giving the interview, and you will be flexible to work on any tool which is used in your company. Okay, then we will, once we done the Git, then we will select Azure DevOps as a CI/CD tool. So why Azure DevOps? So there are Jenkins, GitHub Action is there, Circle CI is there, AWS Code Commit is there. So there are multiple tools. But now why we choose Azure DevOps? The reason, it supports YAML. And once you are master in YAML, you will work on any tool, like let's say GitHub Action. So GitHub Action also uses the YAML files. If you want to deploy configuration file in Kubernetes, again you need to learn the YAML. So that's why we have choose Azure DevOps. So if you learn Azure DevOps, you will able to easily migrate to GitHub Action or the latest tools which are coming in the market. So now the DevOps is moving towards the uh, same tool, same platform. So if you now you can see there is cloud formation from AWS, then there are Bicep, ARM templates from Azure. But now everyone is asking for the Terraform. So that's why we have added Terraform as a part of syllabus. Because if you know the Terraform, you don't need to learn the cloud formation from the AWS. You don't need to learn the Bicep or ARM templates from Azure. If you know the Terraform very good, so you can work on any cloud platform, as well as you can work on on-prem server as well. So that's why Terraform is very important. Next thing is Docker and Kubernetes. So Docker and Kubernetes is a big thing here, and there is a lot of openings for Kubernetes, and the tools which we will learn here, for a single tool you will get a job in the company. For example, if you want to learn Azure DevOps only, and you are good in Azure DevOps, you don't need to learn any other tool, or you don't need, you will get a job of a CI/CD engineer. So your task will be writing up reusable pipelines only, that will be consumed by the other teams. Then if you are good in Docker and Kubernetes, then your task will be creating a configuration files for Kubernetes, creating the Docker images for the application, creating containers, microservices. So a single tool will give you the good opportunity. But again, if you know this basic, at least basic knowledge of each and every tool, then only you can apply for those jobs. So this is the main thing, and we have designed this course to cover the maximum of common things. So because if you go for any specific tools, let's say we focus on Jenkins. If you learn Jenkins here, and when you start applying for the jobs, you will see Jenkins is no one using. Why? Because it is open source. So companies prefer paid versions because they don't have to worry about the cost. They prefer security. So that's why many companies don't use Jenkins. Small companies use Jenkins. Then some people will ask Azure DevOps, some people will ask GitHub Action. So GitHub Action has a classic pipeline as well as YAML pipeline. So it is very good to understand, and maximum tools get covered in a single tool. So for the beginner level to understand the concept, it is good to start with Azure DevOps as a CI/CD engine. Then once we're done with Kubernetes, we will have three projects. The one is we will do in .NET, another Java and Python. So these are the three technologies which are currently in a boom in the industry. So now you will see things like, sir, Python is in boom, but the people, the companies which are using a Java, they have their legacy systems. So they don't want to get switched to the Python immediately because their business is running. There is a lot of dependency. So we need to learn these three technologies: .NET, Java, Python. So we will learn how to create the builds using three technologies, how to deploy it to the production, how we have to do the promotion from staging to prod, and dev to QA to UAT. So that everything we will learn, as well as there are some tools which are required for the security. So this is SonarQube, Trevi, Mend. So these are the tools which we have to learn to configure. So generally, this adds a security, and this is called as a DevSecOps. So now there are terms, these are the fancy terms, DevSecOps. So now people don't say we have a DevOps team, they say we have a DevSecOps teams. Some companies say we have a platform team. So naming culture will be different in different organization, but at the base they are using the same tools which we are going to learn in the course. Okay, then this is all about the course curriculum, but then we have bonuses for you. So what are the bonuses? We will teach you how to prepare your resume. Okay, so very first thing, when you apply for a job, before you are representing yourself in front of interview, your resume speaks a lot about you. So if you fail that step, you will not get a single call for the interview. So though you mastered all the tool set, you know how to work, you are technically very sound, but that doesn't guarantee of getting a job. So what is required for getting a job? First thing, your resume should selected for the interview. So how your resume will get selected? So that resume should be ATS friendly. Then there are tips and tricks. No recruiter reads your resume more than 7 seconds. So now you can think of, or you can check, those are experienced. Whenever you see the post on LinkedIn, Naukri, you see 100 plus application in last 1 hour. So now you think, if you are in place of recruiter, will you read everyone's resume manually? So answer is no, because for human being it is not possible. Then what you will do? You will use some filters. So that is called ATS. There are automation scripts or some applications which filters the resume. Then first thing is, our resume should be ATS friendly. If you miss that step, you will never getting an interview call. Then people say, I have Naukri account from last 6 months. I am not getting a single interview call. I am using LinkedIn from more than a year and I am not getting a call. Should I go for premium services? Then I will get. No, you don't need to do that. In my 11 years of career, I have not taken a single premium for Naukri or LinkedIn. I am getting the job interviews enough just using the basic services. So what I am doing different? I have learned the keys, how to crack the Naukri algorithm, how to crack the LinkedIn algorithm, and that I will definitely share with you so that you will get maximum interview calls. And be assured, you will know no one is going to give you the job offer in your first interview. You have to admit your first 3 to 4 interviews will be a failure, that you have to prepare your mind. And that will give you confidence to put you give the interviews. That is 100% thing. And that doesn't happen with you, that happens with even 10 years or 15 years of experience. Why? Because DevOps term is used by every company as per their convenience. Sometimes there is a required skill set are not matched. So even this happens with me also. So I go for some companies for interviews. They my resume got selected, and then I came to know they are expecting some other tools, or they are giving a more emphasis on specific tool. So we have to accept it. Doesn't matter. But if you are good in your basics, your chances of getting selected are always high. Sometimes it's not because of you are not technically sound, you fail. Sometimes because of fitment, like whatever they are expecting, you are not good with that. Or sometimes budgetary issues are also there. So sometimes they call it for your interview, even they don't have that much budget. They will screen you and they will keep you for the option. For example, they have budget of 20 lakhs and your existing salary is more than 20 lakhs. So they will call you for the interview, they will select you, and then they will keep you as option. If they got a good resource within their budget, then they will release offer letter for that and your position will be on hold. So always give a preference to give the maximum interviews and upskilling yourself. Okay, so then what we are doing again, then we are doing mock interviews. So once you done with your uh, all this resume preparation, account configuration, then we are going to crack the interview. So then if you do, whatever good things you are done in your interview, we will share it. Whatever your mistakes you done in your interview, we will share your feedback immediately. So we are here giving you the more confidence and more clarity. So now we are going to start the Linux. Okay, so before starting the Linux, I want to understand how many know what is operating system. If you don't understand what is operating system, then there is no point of learning any operating, like it may be Windows, it may be Linux, anything. So how many understand what is operating system? Type yes in the chat box. Okay, so this meeting is recorded, so you will get it recordings after. Okay, great. So everyone understand what is operating system. That's great. So Linux is one of operating system. So now here, the first question you will be in your mind, sir, how should I practice? Okay. So now we need a Linux machine to practice the Linux commands. So let's get started. What is Linux? Linux is an operating system which is widely used for the server deployment. So what is Linux? Linux is an open source Unix-like operating system based on a Linux kernel. It runs on a wide variety of devices, so it supports. So how Linux gets started? So there was a person called Linus Torvald. So I am just giving a very short history. What is Linux and how it started? So there was a student in the college. He's developed a kernel. So what is kernel? Again, this is a question. If you are experienced, so you know what is kernel. So let's for a very in a short nutshell understand kernel is a brain of an operating system. Without kernel, any operating system is useless. So if you have to design any operating system, now many people are using Android phones. So Android is operating system, but anyone knows which kernel it is used inside the Android operating system. So now this started your actual session. DevOps engineer is not just learning the tools and following the steps. You should able to understand at least theoretically. If you understood theoretical concept, then it is easy to implement in your day-to-day life. So what is kernel? Does anyone know which kernel is used in Android operating system? If you know the answer, please type in the chat box. If you don't know, I am going to tell. So Android operating system uses Linux kernel. Literally, it uses Linux kernel as it is. That's why you may have seen your Android phones are secure. You don't need to have the antivirus installed like your Windows operating system. So now you are using Express One. If you know your personal computer, if don't have antivirus, then what happens to your Windows machine? Because it is not that secure. But in case of your Android, as it uses Linux kernel, so it is more secure than the any other operating system. So that's why Linux Torvald, a student, he created his own kernel as a university project. Then he thought operating system should be open to all and free to use. So he made it open source. So what is open source? So open source means what? The source code is available to everyone. For example, we everyone use, so now you can see this is Notepad plus plus, right? So everyone has used it. So if you go for, let's say, in this Notepad plus plus, this is Notepad plus plus, okay. So what I think, I want to change this color, or I want to change these digits 1 2 3 4 5. I want to change the font. Is it possible to do it? Let me know yes no in your chat box. See, I am just keeping you engaged so that session should be interactive and I will able to understand you are getting or not. If it is a Windows application system, so obviously we can't change anything. For example, you can see this is a Windows. If I click on start, I want this logo should be changed. I want to keep my photograph there. Is it possible? Okay, did you ever thought of this doing these things? So just I am just putting some questions for you so that you will think it and you will understand it. So now how I can do this? So okay, let's see, is it possible or not? It's a another question. Let's understood how we can achieve it. So first thing what we need to do, we need to make the change into the source code. So what is source code? So let's see. I will go to note. You must have go see this website multiple times, but if you are not related to the DevOps, then you will never think of these things. But as you will start or you will do as a DevOps engineer, you will see the lot of answers. So now here you can see there are a lot of versions available. Okay, so you can see these are the versions. So here current version is 8.81. So now what I want, how to get the source code. So there is definitely a GitHub account. So Notepad plus plus source code. Let's do it. And you can see in a GitHub, we get a direct link to that. So you can see this is Notepad plus plus, Notepad plus plus public. So this is a repository public. It means you can see there are some files. So what are these files? These are files. This is called as a source code. So now here you can see, if you see the languages, so you will come to know what languages are used to design this simple Notepad++ application. So now you can see this Notepad++, you may have used already. If you not used, you will see here are multiple options as compared to the Notepad, which is inbuilt in a Windows. So you can see this is a Notepad which comes with Windows operating system. Here you can see here are very only few limited options, right? And we have very less. And if you want to change this Notepad or you want to add this feature, you can't do because it is not open source. But in case of this Notepad++, as it is open source means what? The source code is publicly available. So you can see here code, and so you can make changes to that source code and you can use if let's say you want to if give some features to this, so you can do. So you can see here list there are 378 contributors, so who are developing features. So this is how open source means anyone can make these changes and use it and share it for the public. So here you can see the languages. This has 79.9% of C++, 10.8% of HTML code, 3.2% of C code. Objective C++ is used 1.7%, Python is used 1.6%, Makefile and other used 1.74. So now you can see majority of this Notepad++ is designed using C++ because 80% of code is written in C++. So now here you can see build Notepad++. So now this is how DevOps engineer job start. Okay, am I audible? Please confirm. I want
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you are audible, but
type yes in the
in
chat box.
between, yeah, in between your for 3 seconds, it is we are not
Okay,
able to hear you.
okay. So I think there is some issue. Okay, if I am not audible, let me know in the comments. So okay. So now here what DevOps engineer does. So I am giving a very common example so that you can relate. Okay. So this is Notepad++ application which everyone has used. So here you can see build Notepad++. It means you can create your own version. So if you go here and click on build guide, you will get the steps how to create notepad++exe. So if you are doing for Windows, you know we need exe file. So these are the steps given here. We have to follow the steps and you will able to create your own version. So let's say in this notepad++, if you want this notepad++ should be your name, you can do it. Let's say you don't like this font, you can change it. When you can do it if you are a developer. Okay, being a DevOps engineer, you will not able to do it. But what you will able to do it, being a DevOps engineer, you will be able to do the build files. So now here to install this Notepad++, we use exe file. So that is nothing but the build. So now you got the steps. So here you can see it's a detail written. What is prerequisites? So you should have Visual Studio installed on your laptop. You should have C and C++ compiler, and then these are the some dependencies which you have to use. And then these are source. These are static libraries which you will need to use it, and then you will follow these steps and you will have your .exe like this. So if I click here, you can see the exe file immediately get downloaded. So let me go to current version. Just a second. I think I need to switch to the. Okay. So now here you can see download Node++ and you can download this installer. So if depending on your operating system, it is 62-bit or 34-bit, you can download. So if you click on installer, as soon as you will click on installer, it will start downloading the exe. So you can see here exe file has been downloaded. So being a DevOps engineer, you will do this. This is called, we called as a build. So this is a desktop application, hence we are creating .exe. If we have to create a web application, we will create a WAR file or jar file, depending on which application and which technology we are going to use. So here, now tell me, is it a difficult job? You have steps given how to create exe file and you have to follow it. That's it. So now tell me, is it a difficult job? What you think? Like, do you, how many of think I can do it? Or are you getting a confidence like it's an easy job? I want responses from everyone, because if you are listening to me and you should be engaged. So if you are typing, so it will help you to keep your attention to the class. And if you engage with my question and answer, believe me, you don't need to give extra time. You have to just spend 20 to 30 minutes on the assignments and you are good to go. And I will request, try to attend live classes as much as possible so that it will help you to keep a track. Okay, very good. So I think you got a confidence. It's easy job. But does it, if it is that much easy, then why no everyone is not doing it? The first thing, awareness. The people are not having that much awareness about what work has to be do. People are not aware. Okay, so if you see YouTube, if you're watching YouTube, you will see the lot of videos. You will get a motivational videos from non-technical background, from hotel management, from BA, BCom. Everyone can switch to DevOps. If they can do, you can also. But believe me, as it seems that much easy, it's not. Why not? You need a practice. Just like think of cricket. There are 10 plus teams in IPL. But if you say Virat Kohli, the world knows who it is. So if you know what sacrifice he has done, how much practice he has done, how much sweat he has burned, or how much time he has spent on playing cricket, giving dedication. So if you don't need that much dedication, if you are able to give a daily 2 hours for yourself, 1 hour for attending the daily classes and 1 hour for doing the practice, whatever we learn, that is enough. So that is the commitment which I expect from you. If you are ready to do that, then DevOps is for you. Okay. So now here, let's see if now the second question, sir, if it is that much easy, steps are given and we have to just follow it, then why there is need of DevOps engineer? This can do anyone, right? Again, this is a manual step. We have to automate this. And here it comes the tools, the power of tools, the magic of tools. Because the developers are focused to create new features. So here you can see in the Notepad++, you can see this is a current version 8.8.1. So if I go to home, you will see, if I go to download, you will see this is 8.8.1, 8.8, 8.7.2. So what this is? So this is a hard work what developers are doing. They are creating some more features. They are fixing the issues. So you can see this is a simple application which we use for just typing, but you can see how much developers are putting efforts. So if we engage developers to create the builds, then developer may not be that much productive. So that's why the DevOps role came into the picture. So what is our role? So our role is go to this library, copy the source code on a machine and follow these steps to create the exe. So that is our role in a very nutshell. So it may be a desktop application, it may be an Android application, it may be a iOS or any application, web application, anything, any technology you take it, name it, and you have to follow the steps. But the steps will change as per the tools will change if you change the technology. Okay, so now here to learn this, to understand this, so here you will see some commands. Nmake -f. So what is this? So if you come with the tools, so all those tools uses Linux. And to automate the process, we need have a basic knowledge about the Linux. Just like if you want to use the computer. You should have the basic knowledge how to use keyboard, how to use mouse. That's way there are 50 commands, hardly 50 commands, 50 commands which we use, and we have to practice those commands. Just using every day. Now control C, control X, control V. Everyone is familiar with it, right? Why? Because we have started using it. Same way, there are some basic Linux commands, 10 to 20 commands, which we will use daily and you will by heart it. You don't need to look back once you are practice. Okay. So now, so this is about DevOps. So let's get into the Linux back to the Linux. Okay. So what we are going to learn. So now here you can see, I open a notepad, I type it. So this is called as GUI or so if you are dealing with the US people or other, they call it GUI. Some call it GUI. So GUI is what? Graphical user interface. You can see this, you can open it. So this is graphical user interface. But Linux servers are command based. So if you have open command prompt in your laptop, so here you cannot see anything. You have only keyboard. Mouse stop working here. So that is exactly what Linux server is. Though Linux is also having graphic user interface, but for the automation, it is of no use. Being a DevOps engineer, our task is to do the automation, write the scripts, write the pipelines. So we prefer a command line. Why? Because if we learn the command lines, we will able to automate it. So that's the reason we need to learn Linux. So now here, next question. To start a Linux, do I need to have a Linux machine? The answer is yes. How to create that machine? Very easy way. So I will create a Linux machine less than 30 seconds in front of you, and you can start practice immediately after class is over. Okay. So how we can do it? There are multiple ways. The first way is you need to AWS or Azure account. There you can create a VM or EC2 instance, and then you can practice. Second way, hard way, that is install VirtualBox in your laptop and download the ISO of Linux and create a virtual machine in your laptop and start practicing it. These are the two ways. Both are need a little complex, but the easiest way is use a online. So how we can do it? So now pay attention, everyone. So again, Google will help us to do a lot of things. You have to type play with Docker. Again, this is a one of tool which we are going to use in our classes. So go to play with Docker. First link will open play with Docker. You have to sign in. You can select continue with Google. This will save your time to create the account and all, and choose the account which you have. Continue. So you can see, okay, sorry, I came to the wrong link. Let me go to the play with Docker. Yeah, it is labs play with docker.com. Second link you have to use. Okay, so here you can see I will share it with you for your reference. So you can use it. So this is a link which you have to use. Labs play with docker.com. Once you come here, click on login, click Docker. So I click accept, and I am already logged in here. You can see Docker Home. So click on start, and now you will come to this page. So here you will see option add new instance. Here you can see the timer is running, but don't need to worry. It doesn't affect our practice. It shows you will have access to this for 2 hours. So 2 hours are more than enough for our practice. And here you don't need to pay a single rupee, you don't need a credit card, you don't need to worry about the bills. You can use it from your mobile as well. But I will suggest to go with laptop or desktop. In worst case, if you don't have a laptop or desktop, buy a wireless keyboard and mouse, attach it to your mobile. It supports all Android phones, Mac, all iPhones, and practice using your keyboard and mouse. Use your mobile screen to mirror your TV and practice on a big screen. So take a feel like you are working on a laptop or computer, because that's what you have to do in your office, in your day-to-day life when you are working. Okay. So click here, add new instance. So it is just like creating a virtual machine, or if you have familiar of a cloud, it is like EC2 instance or virtual machine, but in very single step with limited. So here you can start working right away. So you can see how much time it took. It takes less than a minute or 30-second max. I am explaining, so it took a more time. But when you will open this, you will use a Gmail, and this is how you will server will look like. So you can see this black screen. So that is your console and where you have to work. So now here you can see it's a dollar showing. We don't have any trace what it is. It is just black box. Okay. So now here what we do generally, we check file paths. Okay. So PWD. So PWD stands for present working directory. I will press enter. So you can see it is showing as /root. Just like in your Windows C, you see C is your home drive. In Linux, /root is your path. Okay. So now you are at /root, means just like we save the files in documents, videos, similarly, our whatever we will do will saved into the /root. Now here, let's say we want to see what is the name of this computer or this Linux server. Then there is a simple command, host name. Just type host name and you will get the answer as node 1. So node 1 is the name of this server. Here also you can see it is the IP of this server and node 1 is the name of the instance. So it is a very limited instance. It is actually a Docker instance. It is actually not a Linux machine. It is a Docker image which they have provided us for the practice. Okay. So everyone understood till this part? Give me a S if you understood, or give me a thumbs up in a React. Let me know if you are good or you understand how to start your Linux practice. Okay, I can see a lot of thumbs up. Great. Okay, good. So everyone is familiar. Seems easy peasy. No doubt, no confusion. We have just trying to understand the work. We are just trying to understand the environment. Okay. So now this black box is your Linux machine. So here what I did, I type pwd. So immediately after class is over, you can do the same thing. I have shared the link already, labs play with docker.com. You have to go use your Google account, create account, sign in, and here click on add new instance. If you got any stuck, no confusion, don't worry, you will get recordings, play recording side by side and do the practice. So that will help you to get the more familiar and more easy way into the enter. Okay, great. So first we find out where we are currently. Then we found out what is the name of computer. Then whenever we log into any system, what we do, we log in with username and password. So we have to check who am I. So who am I will tell which user is logged into this machine. So here you can see who am I. Who am I means it tells the which user is logged into this Linux machine. So it is a root user. Just like in Windows, if you have formatted the laptop, by default admin account is used. In Linux, that admin account is called as root user. Root user is the super admin, you can say, who has all the permission to make changes into the system. Just like in your Windows account, we have administrator or admin. So this is a root user. By default, we are logged in with the root. Okay. So now here, what we want to do. So here, this is a command line, means we will not get any GUI or graphical user interface. So we have to deal with it. So let's say I want to create a folder. So in Windows, what we do, we right click, we click new, then click folder, we give a name. But in Linux, as I told, we have to do a command line. So we will need to use the command. So in Windows, we called it a folder or directory. But in Linux, we call it as a directory. So command will be mkdir. Mkdir is a command, means make directory. So this command will create a directory. So mkdir practice. So this will create a directory. So here you can see we are not able to see anything, right? Means I type this command mkdir practice. I don't get a pop-up directory created or not. But what happened? This is showing a console. Means cursor come to the next line. It means when it happens, it means things has been happened smoothly. Means without any error. Let me show. If I want to see the folder has been created or not, then I have a command list. So I will type ls. Ls is used for list. So now here you can see practice is showing, and this is a folder which we have created. So now we have learned to check where we are. What is the command? pwd, present working directory. So now here you can see I am still in the root folder, and I have created a subdirectory practice that is created inside this root. But now if I have to create this new file or new folder inside this practice, then I have to change the directory. So how I can do that? So I need to type cd, then type p, then use tab. So here I will show you again. Now here pwd means I am inside this root folder. But now I have created practice as a directory. My requirement is I want to create a simple text file into this practice folder. So here if I create text file, it will be go under this root. It will not go into the practice. So now here I want to change the directory. So I will use cd, then I will simply type p, and then I will press tab. So it's suggesting a practice because there is a single directory with practice, and I have to press the enter. So now here you can see now it is showing a tilt. So this is called as a tilt, and tilt is used to represent the root directory. So now here you can see everywhere it is a tilt, means we were at the root. pwd is root, and now you can see it is showing tilt slash practice. It means now I have came into this practice folder. How we can do? We can verify pw. We can type again pwd, and you can see it is slash root slash practice, means this is showing now exactly the way Windows path shows. But if you observe clearly, you can see the cursors are reverse. Like Windows use forward slashes, it uses backward slashes. So that will be changed in Windows and Linux. So now here we learn how to create directory, how to switch directory. Okay, now I came inside the practice. Let's say I have to create one more folder, but that I want to create into the root. Then how I can create that? Simply I can, if I have to go to the back, I can type cd and then two dots. So you can see here cd two dots, it is showing now tilt. It means I am back to the root. So here I was in the practice. If I type cd dot dot, then it will go one step back. So it is again I am root. And if I am see like I am at very bottom, I want to clear the screen, then I will type clr. Okay, bash command not found. Okay, so some commands will not work here because this is a uh, Docker image. It is not a full Linux machine, but to start with practice, it is sufficient. Okay, so now here what I have to do, I have to create one more folder so that everyone will understand how to create a new folder. So I came back to my root mkdir. I am I will type any name what I want. So I can create a folder practice 2 mkdir. So now here you can see I have created new folder. So if I want to see the folder, I have to type ls. So if I type ls, you can see it is showing two folders, practice 2 and practice. But now what I have last time what I did, I want to change. So I type p and then press tab, and now it is showing practice. But if I have to go to the next, then cd p and tab. So here it is going to the practice. If I want to go to practice 2, I will type cd practice 2 and enter. Okay, now here you can see I have typed cd practice and it is showing no such file or directory. Why it is happening? Because Linux is very case sensitive. It treats small p differently and capital P differently. So if I type, so you can see if I type cd and I type p and press tab, it is showing only practice. Why it is not showing practice 2? Because it starts with capital P. So now here I type cd capital P, and if I press tab, you can see it shows practice 2. Understood the difference? Linux is very case sensitive. So now here, if I want to go cd practice 2, I will press enter. So now you can see I have successfully entered into the practice 2 folder. And here you will see the difference. Tilde slash practice 2 means I am inside the practice 2. So what we learn? We learn how to create a folder, how to go inside the folder, how to go back to the previous folder. So that we learn. So now what we will do today? So now we will create a file. So how to create the file? So to create a file here, just like we use a command mkdir, it tells, it creates the file. Sorry, it creates the directory or folder. To create the file in Linux, there are multiple commands. One is you can use touch command. Touch command will create the files. If you have to create, and in Linux, you can create multiple files at the same time. Let's say touch file 1, file 2, press enter. So now here, if I do ls, you will see file 1, file 2 created. Two files has been created at the same time. Using touch command, you can create n number of files at the same time. If you give a, it will be separated by the space. Let's say touch file, I just type file 3. So it, how many file it will create? Guess the answer. I am pressing enter. It didn't give any error, means files has been created. Now I will do ls. So you can see it has created two files. Means why? It has treated a file separately and 3 separately. So 3 is also created as a file, file is also created, and now we have 4 files into the folder called practice 2. Okay, now here, this is the way we have to create the file into the Linux. If we have to create a multiple files, we can use touch command, and just followed by space, we can create multiple files. Then there are editors, vi. So v editor, let's say we have to create a file. So vi file 3, and you can see a new terminal has been opened. So you can see line number 1. So now here, this is a command interface. So you can see that terminal has gone and it has opened a new black window, where at this bottom you can see file 3 in bracket new, means this is a new file not saved. Here you can see 001, it is showing the position. You are at first line and no single character, it is empty file. So here, if you type whatever you want, you can start typing just like you type in your normal file. So it will not start. Then how you can do? You have to press I. So you can see here at the bottom, insert is available. So these are the modes. So now if I directly start typing, it will not allow you to type anything. Here you have to type I, then you can see the file is opened into the insert mode. So now here you can start typing. Welcome to DevOps. Now if I press enter, it will take me to the second line. Learn DevOps with confidence. That is very important. Okay. So I just type 2 lines. I can add multiple lines. Okay. Now here I want to save this file. In Windows, what we do Control S, but in Linux, it's different way. We have to press the escape key. So you can see I press the escape key. The insert was disappeared here. And here you can see 3 lines. Now it is showing 3 lines and 0 out of 1. So it is showing the position. At line number 3, my cursor is at 0. Means there is nothing. If I type something, it if I press I, then it will come insert. And as soon as I type, you can see the it is changing. Line first character indicates line number, and this is indicating number of characters. So position 3. If I add one more, you can see it is getting increased. So this is the way insert. If I have to save this file, then I have to press escape. Again, you can see everything disappeared. Then I have to press shift colon. You can see at the bottom there is a colon and W for write and quit. Hence I need to type write and quit and press enter. So you can see vi file 3 has been created. How we can check? We can use again ls. So now here we have created these 4 files, and this file 3 has been created using vi editor. So how I save the file? I press colon and wq. W is for write. If I don't use W and just press Q, it will not save the file. It will get out of the editor. So WQ need to use. So now here I want to read the file, right? So how we can read it? So I will again type vi and then file name. I can use the up arrow for the last command used. So I don't need to use again. As I press enter, you can see my file is open. Welcome to DevOps, learn DevOps with confidence. So here I again it open the file for insert mode, and I have to take it arrow. I cannot use any mouse here. So let's say I am adding something daily 8 to 9 p.m. and here I want to save it. So I have to press escape colon. So now here I am just typing Q. Q means quit. So if I don't use W, let's see what happens. Now see the file, it has 3 lines and I am just typing Q. It will give me no write since last change, add exclamatory mark to override. Means it is telling me you have made some change and you have not saved it. If you want to forcefully quit, then add exclamatory mark so that you will get out of forcefully. So I need to use Q and forcefully. So it says forcefully quit. Here I am just typing Q. It is not allowing me Q because there is file which I have not saved. So if you have some situation, you can use Q and exclamatory mark enter. You will get out of the file. And now if you go back and see the change, you will not able to see the change. You can see only 2 lines are there. Why? Because you forgot or we didn't save it. So if we want to save it, we have to add colon WQ. Then it will get saved. Okay. So we are that is enough for today's session. What we learned today? Let's revise. We seen the how to search a DevOps market, how to find out number of opportunities. Then we go through the syllabus and we try to understand what is Linux as an operating system, what is open source, we understood, what is our role as a DevOps engineer, that we learn. Okay, so now I will open the forum for question and answers. If you have any questions related to this session, you can ask here. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. If you have any question related to syllabus, related to course, you can freely ask me a questions, or if or you can type in the chat box. Okay, if you don't have any question, tomorrow we will connect same time 8 to 9. Link will be shared 15 minutes before in the group, and you have to use that link to connect. So these three sessions are absolutely free, where you can experience the teaching. Okay, so give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed the session. Give me a down emoji if you have really not liked the session. So be honest, it's freedom of India. If you enjoy, give a thumbs up. If you didn't like, give it a dislike. No issues. Okay, so if you have questions, you can unmute and ask.
Hi. So I have one question.
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
As a experienced manual tester, if I like, how this course is useful for me. Like as a tester, I can include all these contents in my testing. Like how, what is the way, or it is completely different from testing, or
Okay, very good question. So first, my question, before answering your question, I have one question for you. Do you want to switch into DevOps, or do you want to get promoted as a automation tester?
yeah, my interest is in testing. Like as I started my career in testing, but I'm also interested in developing something. But as
Okay,
I was not having time, so I haven't like practiced for that.
okay, great. So let me answer your question. So if you don't want to get into the DevOps and you want to upskill yourself as an automated test engineer, then there is what about after the automation tester? Then there is a role called a automation architect. And there are, if you are writing automation for testing, then this will run through the pipelines. And to run it through the pipeline, you should have knowledge about the CI/CD process. So in my company, or all companies, there are architects for everything. Like for automation, test architect is there, developer architect is there, DevOps architect is there. So whenever you are working on a project, so all every architect sits together, they design a framework, and then they use the CI/CD tools to do the testing. So if you don't want to go completely into the DevOps, still this course is beneficial for you if you want to get promoted as a automation engineer, because you will, if you are automating, so what is the purpose of automation test engineer? To automate the process, right? So how he will automate? Using tools. Which tools? CI/CD tools. So this course is going to help you. If you are a developer, or you are a fresher and you don't know what to start, still DevOps is a beneficial for you, because nowadays there is a concept called platform engineering. So platform engineering, what it does, it creates the reusable pipelines. Like you don't need to understand entire pipeline, but at least you should know how to run this pipeline and how to use it. So for that, this knowledge will definitely help. And if you are anyway in software development cycle, you are a tester, you are a front end designer, back end designer, DevOps, database engineer, you should be able to understand the entire software development lifecycle, because you have to create a repository, you have to submit your code, and this course will help you to get cutting edge technology in your field. So it's not like this is only for the DevOps engineer who want to do DevOps. No, whoever is into the software development lifecycle, whatever will be your role, this course will help you. Okay, so that answers your question.
Yeah, so I can add in my CV, right? Like, okay, I have completed this course, and some contents, okay, these are the practiced contents. So, like, which will be helpful in the testing profile, like automation tester or like that.
Definitely. So for don't believe me blindly. So I as I said in the beginning of the session. So go
Mm-hmm.
to the profile of a automation test engineer, automation test architect, see the job description, what tool set they are asking. So you will get the answer yourself.
Thank
So
you.
even if you are going for full stack, you will see these tools are listed there. So nowadays DevOps is a integral part for all the everyone who is working into the software development lifecycle. Okay, anyone has any other question regarding course, regarding DevOps? You can freely ask, because I want you should be enter into the course with confidence. Okay, if you have a hesitation to ask, you can type in the chat box. I will answer. Or if you don't have any questions, we'll meet tomorrow, same time. Or you can put your questions into WhatsApp group also. Then there also I will answer your questions. Okay, anyone has any question? Last chance. Okay, good. So we'll stop here. See you tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9. If your friends or someone missed this session, same session is going to repeat tomorrow morning, 8 to 9. If you have attended this today's session, you don't need to join again in the morning session. Same session will be there. Okay. You can join directly in the evening batch. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night to all. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.